the thing where I guess I had sort of even misremembered this in my own viewing. I guess I didn't realize, because I knew the larger kind of like tabloid life surrounding Mischa Barton around that time, but I think I didn't realize in my mind how much significantly younger she was, in the sense when you're at that specific age group, that she was like 17 and everyone else was like in their early 20s, going out, having these different bonding experiences. And it was like, oh yeah, like even for me to look back, I thought, oh yeah, that had to have been so difficult. But like, Stephanie, you really talk about that era for her, and specifically at the end, like how difficult, whether or not certain things that were surrounding her life, tabloids, there does sound to be like a very protective mother that was around, maybe feral dogs even at one point, it sounds like, was also an issue on set. But in general, like something that you reflect back on of like, wow, maybe there's something that we could have done also.
Yeah, I mean, that the way that especially the media treated young women at that time, I think we've all taken a hard look at. And it's kind of incredible to think about, if you go back and actually look at the coverage of Mischa at the time, that there's zero awareness that this is a child. This is someone under 18. And the way that she's treated by the kind of emerging paparazzi websites is really despicable. And that sort of was treated at the time as, well, that's par for the course. That's just what happens when you get famous. And the way in which that's gendered wasn't particularly addressed either, that this was happening more to girls than it was to boys. That it wasn't a part of the conversation. And at the time, we were very much told that, like, you're bosses, you make sure people, as long as everyone's showing up on set and doing their job, like, it's none of your business, and stay out of it. You're going to get in trouble if you cross a line where it feels like you're, trying to get under the hood of someone's personal life. So we didn't do that. And I regret that. And I talk about it a lot in the book. Yeah,
it's a really revealing chapter. I mean, there's so much in this book, but it was just really illuminating, for us to like look back at that time and see how women were treated, whatever else, but also like the reaction to characters, or like, what do you do in that situation, was obviously a clear learning thing and moving forward from that. And Alan, I'm curious about your take. I was saying before you guys got here that I was in college during this era and I was studying abroad, and we hadn't been watching the season because we were in Europe. It's not like now where you can have like VPN to watch Love Island UK. and Mischa Barton does this interview where she reveals her character's die. We were all freaking out. We're like, we've got to get this up. We've got to see her die. And so we pirated the episode and watched it surrounding a laptop. And we're just like so gutted. Like, how is this happening? But Alan, for you as a critic, what was your take in that era around Marissa's death? What was your reaction to it?
My reaction was, this was coming at the end of a season where there had, with all due respect to Josh and Stephanie, the stories for Marissa that year had not been great. And there was a sense of, well, maybe the show is running out of things to do with her. And
side note, there's a lot in that chapter too from writers talking about the enigma that was Marissa and writing for her, which is also fascinating, by the way.
Yes, and that's a running thread throughout the book. Marissa was always clearly a challenge to everybody I talked to, but you get the sense of like, okay, we don't know what to do with her. So in that sense, maybe killing her off in the moment seemed like a good idea. Obviously, it was not. Obviously, the Marissa fans greatly outnumbered, the people who gravitated more towards the comedic aspects of the show, like me. And, they didn't come back. And so in that sense, it was a mistake. But in the moment, I thought, okay, well, this is interesting. Let's see what they can do with that.
Well, you know what? It also, in a way, weirdly, even though it was like a gutting thing to happen, it didn't tarnish the legacy of the series, which I think a lot of shows stumble with and don't recover from, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, we look back on it like as a whole, it's so good that I almost like forget that moment even.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the number one question people ask us.
Sure.
Did you kill Marissa?
Yeah. But also, and it's like they were very much star-crossed lovers. It almost was like it kind of had to be.
She was a tragic heroine in a lot of ways, yeah.
Yeah.